function. Yeah, Cappy on some fuck shit. Oh no, out my face with that fuck shit. Or I might fuck up your function.
AMVerge or AMVerge is a tool where you basically input an episode and it's going to automatically cut every single scene and kind of display it in the grid. So it takes around like 10 to 15 seconds to import any episode and cut them. And once it's imported, you can kind of just have a bird's eye view of all the clips and basically the content. So for me, what I usually do is I just select, this scene is Twixterable, anything that really looks Twixterable or looks cool, I just select all of them. Okay, so now that I selected all my clips, I'm gonna click export, and I can name this whatever I want. First, keep in mind that this is the directory, so I want to export it to downloads, for example, and then I can export it as episode 1 clips. So these are all the clips that I want from episode 1 that I kind of liked. So now that I exported it, I had merge clips enabled, which basically combines them all together, all the selected clips together, back to back in order, into one video file. So I have this video file called episode 1 clips. I'm going to drag that into my AE. And now, instead of having to scrub through the entire episode to look for the scenes I want, in just like 30 seconds, I managed to find every single Twixterable scene or editable scene that I want to edit within the episode. Me personally, I hate going through the entire episode inside After Effects to look for what scene I want, because just look at this. Like, you can only find, or you can only see one frame animation, and you can't really see how well the animation is. Like over here, maybe I can see it a little bit, but right. Also, you only get to see one scene on your screen, whereas over here, not only do you have an access to like an entire grid, but when you have grid preview on, you can kind of see the animation as well, right? You're not just looking at one frame. So yeah, it's way better than using the traditional method of just importing into After Effects and selecting all the scenes, when you could just do this, get more scenes and better scenes in much less of a time than you normally would. One thing to note is that some scenes can be duplicates. So I'll give an example. Or rather than duplicate, I guess it's better to say like false positive. It cuts it thinking that it is a scene cut, but it's not. So over here, these two scenes, they're both scene cuts. They're both like the same clip, so they're not actually proper scene cuts. So what I can do is I can just select both of them, so that when I merge clips and export, it's gonna merge them together and export it as one clip, along with all the other ones I exported in order. So that kind of fixes that issue, and this happens oftentimes with fight scenes. So you can see that over here in this fight scene, we have like 2 duplicates. Yeah, we have this one here. This is a duplicate of this one. It's a false positive. These 2 are false positives. So let's select them both as one scene. And then we also have, I think this one might be a false positive, or actually these 2 are false positives, these 2. So let's select those 2 as well, so we can capture the entire scene. And then also I will capture these 2 scenes, because they're also false positives, I think. Once I merge the clips, I can export. Now I have I think I selected 3 scenes in total. All 3 of those scenes, they were originally false positives, but now you see, because I merged them, they're all the same. And you can see, like, it's the entire clip, right? So that definitely fixes the issue in terms of, incorrect scene cuts. Not only that, but let's say we wanted to, this is episode 1, so let me just delete this real quick. Let's say we wanted to import the entire series. So here I have the entire season 2 downloaded. I can just select all the files, import them into the AMVerge. Now that it's all imported, that took around like a minute, I think. So we have all of episode 1 imported into our episode panel. We can create a new folder, so we can create like this is season 2, so I'll do free run season 2. And then this will create a new folder, and then I can move all of these files into that folder. So that kind of organizes it. So I can have free run season 1 as well. And then I can just double click them to kind of just navigate seamlessly into each episode. I have grid preview enabled, so it's a little bit slow. Let me disable that. So I can kind of just go through each episode. And this is the intro, so it's the same, but the rest of the episode, as you can see, is different. So this is episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and so on and so forth. You can also sort them. and you can also clear the cache if you want. This basically just deletes all the episodes. Keep in mind that if you do delete the original episode, it's like I can just delete all of these real quick. It's not gonna delete the files inside AMVerge. So theoretically, if you have like 10 million episodes lying around on your PC somewhere, you can just convert them into the individual clips, all in a single episode panel. So I can have this another folder called free run anime or something, and then drag and drop this in there, and then I'm gonna have like a Mob Psycho anime season 1, season 2, season 3, and the Tokyo Ghoul anime season 1, season 2, and then and then all the other animes I have downloaded on my PC, and I can just have like a whole setup, you know, like a lineup of all the anime that I have downloaded, and so every time I want to edit something, I can just refer back to AMVerge. That's one of the uses. Otherwise, you know, you can just kind of treat it as a temporary thing where you know, every time you download an episode, you can just drag and drop it here, export it, clear cache, and just use it as like a temporary scene selection tool. But yeah, this is just here for your convenience. And my favorite part about this is that it is customizable. So I can, you know, change this to pink if I want, or I can maybe change this to like yellow. But my favorite thing to do is I like to put an image in the background. So this is my background that I usually have. So I can just drop this into like maybe kind of something like the background, maybe increase it a little bit. And yeah, this is usually like the, you know, the customized that I usually have. So some of the controls, you can double click an episode to select it for export. You can also control click. So double click and control click, they both do the same thing, where it selects the episode for export. If you just single click, it's gonna have it focused. And this is resizable, by the way. You can also resize the grid. If you click an episode, it's gonna focus it onto the video. So that's just for previewing purposes. Otherwise, I usually just grid preview, and then I kind of scroll down and then select as I go. Like this has a cool walking animation or whatever. I don't know. And you can also shift and click to select a range. So you can see I click this one, and then I shift click to this one, and that selected all the ones in between this and this. So those are basically all the controls. It's not very complicated. One thing to note that with this grid preview, it gets kind of slow if you have a lot of clips visible, right? So over here, it's going to get a little bit laggy. Keep that in mind. You don't want to have this grid preview on if you have your viewport extremely large, because it has to render all the clips on the screen at the same time. So usually I just have this at like 4 or 3 in a row, depending on, you know, whatever your PC can handle. Or if your PC can't really handle that at all, which, you know, that shouldn't be an issue for the most part, you can just disable this and it's going to play on hover. So that as well. Or if you want to just whatever, however you want to use this app, it's up to you. Very flexible. And that's about it. So this is what I built. Originally, I was going to go into a little bit of a technical tangent on how this works behind the hood, but I didn't really feel like doing that because then I would feel obligated to kind of create animations to aid my explanation, which I'm kind of too lazy to do. So you can kind of just scroll through here and it goes through everything that you need to know. But yeah, this is essentially the entire app. So I think this is everything. I've been working on this for the past like 3 to 4 months. And during that time, I wouldn't even say that it was on and off. Like I would work on this nearly every day for you know, an hour at least. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I went through several different versions of how the backend should work. I even created my own like little research paper for how the original algorithm worked, but it was really slow. It was really accurate, much more accurate than how it is right now, but it was really slow. Yeah, I hope this helps the editing community. I hope you enjoy, and I hope this makes editing a little bit easier. I know a lot of people, they just hate editing or they don't edit at all because as soon as they open up the After Effects, they slap one episode in there, and then they immediately close After Effects because, you know, they're too lazy to find the episode. So hopefully this helps with that issue, and I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, so you can download this on amverge.app. That's amverge.app. I will leave the link in the description. It's also open source. So if you click on view source below the download button, it's kind of small, but you can see the code behind it. Keep in mind that the repo is very messy as of recording this. So give it maybe like a week or something, and it's going to be all clean and it should be easier to contribute to it. But as of right now, it's really messy. But yeah, contributions open. So last thing that I forgot to mention, very important. As of posting this video, it might tell you that Windows protected your PC when you download it. This doesn't actually mean that's a virus. Apparently, it just means that I'm a nobody in the developer community, according to Microsoft. I don't know how to get this resolved, but I have spoken to the creator of FlowFrames, which I'll show in the screen right now. If it doesn't get fixed and you do get this pop-up, then don't worry, it's not a virus.